everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Chloe and in today's video I'm going to be doing January wrap up. I read 14 books in January. One of them was fantasy and the 13 was romance. And then I read 5,004 pages last month. And then my favourite book of that month was Powerless by Alice Silver. I got 1 5-star, 6 4-stars, 4 3-stars, 2 2-stars, and then I had 1 DNF. 3 are physical, and then 11 is on Kindle. So let's get to it. So before we start, if you see me looking at the side, it's because I'm looking at my tablet for the order of the books that I read and the information, all that stuff. So the first book that I read was Destiny by C.J. Cookie, and I gave this 3 stars. So this book is a 3 stars. I really liked the writing and the plot, but I will say that I got bored halfway through, and I also like the main character Arya. She's like a badass. So yeah, I just got bored of this book, to be honest. It wasn't the best book to start with this year with. So yeah, I just got bored and started to skip pages and I just wanted it to finish. So yeah, that is my first book that I read this year. And then I read Double Put by Lauren Blakely, and this is a reverse Aram and Aki romance. So there's Trina, Chase and Riker, and Trina has a dog called, I don't know what the dog name is called, but yeah, he has this thing where he chews up pants, so like knickers. I don't really want to say that word, but yeah, and one day he chews up another woman's knickers, and she finds out, and Trina finds out that her boyfriend cheated on her. So because a ex-boyfriend is a big Aki fan and he won these VPI tickets to meet Chase and Riker, she takes them and she meets Chase and Riker, and yeah, they fall in love. But yeah, I really like this book. I really like that they put her needs before anything else, and I love that that Chase and Riker have 2 different personalities. So Chase is the golden retriever and Riker is the grump, and then Trina is the sunshine. And then I also like the balance between the spiciness and the talking. So they're very communicative. Is that even the word? Oh well, very communicative in this book. So they talk about their feelings and all that stuff. So yeah, and then of course there's spice. And yeah, I really like this book. And did I say what I gave it? I gave this 4 stars. So not bad. But yeah, definitely gonna read the next book in this. And then I read Powerless by Alice Silver, and I love Jasper and Sloan. I gave this 5 stars and I read it in 1 sitting. And also this will be in a video that'll be coming out next week, hopefully. No, this week, sorry. Hopefully it'll be coming out this week, so keep an eye out for that. So I won't say that much about this, but yeah, I'm happy to be in Chestnut Springs again, and I really miss that world and the characters, especially the side characters. And you still get the side characters in this book, but yeah, I love Sloan and Jasper. And Jasper is my new boyfriend. Well, book boyfriend, I should say that. He's my new book boyfriend. I love him, and ever since I finished this book, I haven't stopped thinking about him. So yeah, 5 stars, and this is my first 5 stars of this year. So I'm very happy about that. So yeah, really enjoyed this book. So the next book is Found by Jane Ryland, and I gave this 2 stars. This was a really close DNF. I got bored about 40% in the book, and I was so close to DNFing in it, but I just pushed myself. And like I said, this year I want to DNF more books, but it's gonna be quite tough. But yeah, this is about Nolan, Jace, and Law. So Nolan is in the Shield security team, and so he's in special ops, and he goes and saves Law and Jace. Is it? Yeah, he goes and saves Law and Jace because they were sold and they went through quite a lot. No, he went to go and save them, but there wasn't where they thought they was. But he finds them, and a relationship starts. And but like I said, I got bored halfway through, and I felt like Nolan was a third wheel in the relationship, because obviously Jason always got this special bond because they went through the same thing and they've known each other for forever. So yeah, I felt like that Nolan was a third wheel in this reverse error. So yeah, I gave this 2 stars. And then I read All Roads Lead Here by Marina Zapata. I can never say her last name, so I'm not going to try. So Marina, and I really like her books. I'm starting to make my way through her books. So yeah, and they're quite big. But this book, I love this book. I gave this 4.5 stars, and I love Aurora. I will say I want to go in this book for romance, that to be honest, because like about I'd say 20%, so 70-80% is when you get the romance, and the rest is basically Aurora finding a way. Because so this book is about Aurora who lost her mum, and so she goes to the hometown where her mum was from, and she meets she meets Rode, a landlord, and Amos, that is Rhodes' son, and they form a bond. I will say I really liked Amos and Aurora's friendship. They got really close, and she got him to come out of his shell a little bit. So yeah, and then Rode gets very protective of Aurora, and he's a very grumpy guy. But I love him. Okay, I love him, and I love the Aiken in this book because I like Aiken. So yeah, really good book. And also this is in the same video as Powerless. So if you want to hear my thoughts more, if you want to hear more of my thoughts, it will be in that video. So the next book is Accepting Fate by J. Lane, and I gave this 4 stars. So this is about Logan and Grayson. But okay, so this took me quite a while to realise. Logan is a girl. It took me quite a while to realise that she's a girl. But yeah, so Logan is running from a past, and she is a doctor, and she meets Grayson, and yeah, I really enjoy this book. I love their relationship, and I love the journey that Logan went on with not letting fear control her. And yeah, there's like, I will check trigger warnings with this book because there's loads of like panic attacks and anxiety and all that stuff. So yeah, I very much connected with Logan with how she dealt with anxiety and panic attacks, because with someone who deals with them, it was nice to see that on book in It was very nice to see that in a book. But yeah, and I gave that 4 stars. 4 stars. Now I read Ed in the Game by Rebecca Wraith, and I gave this 3.5 stars. So this is about Jack and Bryant. Yeah, this is about Jack and Bryant's relationship, and I just felt like it was physical more than anything else. It was like, yeah, it was more physical than emotional or anything like that, and it was just going way too fast for my liking. The writing was easy to read, and I got through it quite quickly. But yeah, like I said, there was just no emotions between them. It's all physical, and don't get me wrong, I like smut in my but I also like emotions between the characters. And I just felt like it was rushed between them too. Like it was instant love. There you go. That's the word. It was just instant love, and I found out that I don't really like that. Next book is Lines by Anna B. Doe, and I gave this DNF. This was my first DNF of this year, and I DNF'd it at 57%, so I'm still gonna count it that I read it. So yeah, the main character were the main characters were generally pissing me off. Like the main character was just rude and controlling, and the girl just let him walk all over her. Like I don't mind that, but it does matter when the girl lets it happen, and yeah, she doesn't fight back. So yeah, this is my first DNF of the year. And then I read Want Me by Neve Wilder, and I gave this 3.5 stars. So this is Nate and Eric's relationship, so it's roommates. I love that they got that happy ever after, and I like the writing. It was very quick. It was a very quick read, and I like the tender moments between the characters. And it was very hot and steamy. So if you like that, then maybe you like this. And it's also romance. The next book I read was Love, Honor and Betray by L. Knight, and I gave this 2 stars. So with this book, I found it on TikTok, and it looks so good, and I really wanted to enjoy it, but I got bored, and yeah, so I was getting bored. I was skipping pages, and I really enjoyed Lexi's and Hunter's relationship, but it was weird. Like, why would you trust someone that you just met, like that you don't even know, and you trust them over your girlfriend? And then also the other way around, like, why would you trust your ex-husband who treats you like really badly over your boyfriend? And they're just like, instead of going to each other and asking, they just believed it just like that. Like, no. So yeah, yeah, I was getting pissed off in this book, but other than that, I did actually really enjoy their relationship, and they were very cute together. But yeah, didn't like that they let someone play them. The next book is Let's Do This by Lauren Lee, and I gave this 4 stars. So this is Shaw and Burke relationship. So this is and this drawed me in from the beginning. I really liked this book, and it was real and intimate, and I really like that in books. And you got to go on this journey with 2 very different people and personalities. They learned about themselves and each other. And I love that they got this deep connection, and they was speaking with each other, and no miscommunication. And like, even though there was really good communication, they didn't necessarily have to talk to each other. They just knew that something was up, and if they was down, they would know. If they was happy, if there was something up, they would know, even without talking to each other. So their chemistry was 10 out of 10, and they complemented each other so well. But yeah, this was a very quick read. The writing was really good, and this is a sports romance, so there's very team building, and the team at the back, and yeah, there was very like team building and all that stuff. But yeah, there's that. And then I read Gavin Park by Nordica Knight. I think that's how you spell it. Nordica Knight. And this is also MM romance. So this is between Devon and Maddock, and I gave this 3.75 stars. This obviously is about Devon and Maddock, like I just said, and they live in a trailer park. So they are very poor and they just live off what they can get, and their life isn't that great, and they are enemies. So this is their enemies to lovers, and even when they fall in love, they still act like they're enemies. I will say that, and I love that. So they were still fighting and arguing, but they made up, and yeah, and there's a lot of spice in this book. But yeah, really like this book. A lot of garbage and real. This is a very real book. So yeah, and the chemistry was top tier, and I love their relationship. And yeah, I might actually put this up more to, instead of 3.75, I might put it up to 4 stars, because I still think about this book. It's very different to what I've read. So yeah, and then the next book is the second book to Gavin Park, Lot 62, and again, this is about Devon and Maddock, and it's just their relationship, to be honest, just building their life together and fighting for each other and dealing with family. So, Devon's mum is sick, and then his dad is a dick. I don't like him. And then, Maddox's dad is a drunk, and you get to see his character grow. I really like that. I like that his character grew, and then his mum is also a drunk and on drugs. But yeah, you see the relationship between each family member, and also Devon Maddock has got 2 brothers. So Maddox's brother is Avy, and that's it, Xavier. Yeah, and then Devon's brother is Nate, and they've been best friends forever. So yeah, you see the relationship between family members with each other, with their brothers, and there's a lot of tension between Maddock and Devon. And yeah, I read this really quick and I really enjoyed this book. So I gave this 4 stars, but I'll probably push it up to 4.25 stars actually. But yeah, so 4.25 stars. And then there's Knock Knock by the same author, and this is about Xavier and Nate. So, like I said, they're best friends, and they're trying to find the path. And one thing I really like about these books is they don't have everything together, and I think Xavier and Nate are about late 20s, early 30s, and they have no idea what they want to do with their life. Especially Xavier, like Nate, has always wanted to open a shop, a boat shop with his brother, and that's what they did. But Xavier he doesn't know what he wants, and I can connect. There you go. I could connect with that, because someone who is in their nearly 25, I don't necessarily have my life together. I don't know what I want to do in my life, so I connected with that. But yeah, they're best friends, and they just realise that they've got feelings for each other, and you see them navigate that. And there's literally only one fight between them. The rest, they are communicative, and yeah, I also liked that they wanted to out their community, and yeah, they're just figuring out life together and their relationship. And I also love the banter between them two and their brothers. And there's a load of smut in this book too. But yeah, they are all the books that I read in January. So before we end, if you like this video, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. I really appreciate it. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.